A night in Paris, the city of light, had always fascinated Evelyn. Paris, with its rich history, art, and romance, was a place she had dreamed of visiting ever since she was a little girl. Now, at the age of 27, she finally found herself wandering its cobblestone streets, every corner whispering tales of love and revolution. Evelyn had arrived in Paris on a crisp autumn morning. The air was filled with the scent of freshly baked bread and the distant murmur of the Seine River. She stayed in a charming little hotel in Montmartre, the artists' quarter, where narrow streets climbed steeply, and every building seemed to wear a cloak of bohemian charm. Her first day in Paris was spent exploring the neighborhood. She visited the Seslikitap Basilica, where she marveled at the breathtaking view of the city sprawled out before her. She wandered through the Place du Tertre, watching street artists at work, their easels capturing the essence of Parisian life. As evening approached, Evelyn found herself drawn to the Seine. She walked along the riverbank, the golden light of the setting sun reflecting off the water, creating a dazzling display. The Eiffel Tower loomed in the distance, a beacon of elegance and grace. She decided to take a river cruise, hoping to see the city from a different perspective. The boat glided smoothly over the water, passing under the many bridges that connected the city's two halves. Evelyn watched as the landmarks of Paris drifted by: the Louvre, with its glass pyramid glowing softly in the twilight, Notre Dame, its Gothic spires standing tall against the darkening sky, and the Musée d'Orsay, a former railway station now home to countless masterpieces. As night fell, the city began to sparkle. The Eiffel Tower lit up, its lights twinkling like stars. Paris truly lived up to its name, the City of Light. Evelyn felt a sense of wonder and enchantment, as if she had stepped into a dream. After the cruise, she made her way to a small cafe on the left bank. It was a cozy place, filled with the warm glow of candlelight and the hum of conversation. She found a table near the window and ordered a glass of wine. As she sipped her drink, she watched the world go by: couples strolling hand in hand, street performers entertaining passers-by, and the occasional artist sketching in a notebook. Evelyn took out her own notebook, a habit she had kept since childhood. She began to write, capturing her impressions of Paris, the beauty of the city, and the emotions it stirred within her. She lost herself in her writing, the words flowing effortlessly, as if the city itself was guiding her pen. It was then that she noticed a man sitting at the next table. He was sketching furiously, his hand moving with a grace and precision that spoke of years of practice. He had an air of intensity about him, his brow furrowed in concentration. Evelyn couldn't help but be curious. She watched him for a while, admiring his skill and the passion with which he worked. Eventually, the man looked up and caught her gaze. He smiled, a warm and friendly smile that put her at ease. "Do you like what you see?" he asked in a soft, accented voice. Evelyn blushed, realizing she had been staring. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. Your work is captivating." He chuckled and shook his head. "No intrusion at all. I'm Henri, by the way." He extended a hand. "Evelyn," she replied, shaking his hand. "It's nice to meet you." They began to talk, and Evelyn learned that Henri was an artist who had lived in Paris all his life. He told her stories of the city, its history, and the people who had left their mark on its streets. He spoke of the struggles and triumphs of being an artist, and the inspiration he found in Paris. As the night wore on, their conversation flowed effortlessly. They shared stories, laughter, and moments of silence, comfortable in each other's company. Henri showed her his sketches, each one capturing a different aspect of Paris: its architecture, its people, its soul. Evelyn was entranced by his talent and his deep love for the city. At one point, Henri asked, "Have you seen the Eiffel Tower up close at night?" Evelyn shook her head. "Not yet. I was planning to, though." Henri stood up and extended his hand. "Come with me. There's something magical about seeing it at night." They walked together through the streets of Paris, the city alive with a nocturnal energy. When they reached the Eiffel Tower, Evelyn gasped. It was even more magnificent up close, its iron latticework illuminated by thousands of lights. They stood at the base, looking up in awe. Henri led her to a spot where they could sit and watch the tower. They sat in silence for a while, the only sounds the distant murmur of traffic and the occasional burst of laughter from nearby tourists. Paris is special, Henri said softly. It has a way of making you fall in love with the city, with life, with yourself. Evelyn nodded, feeling a deep sense of contentment. She realized that Paris was more than just a city, it was a place of dreams and possibilities, a place where magic still existed. As they sat together, watching the lights of the Eiffel Tower sparkle against the night sky, Evelyn knew that this night in Paris would stay with her forever. It was a night of discovery, of connection, and of inspiration. A night that reminded her of the beauty of life and the endless stories waiting to be told.